BPod Studios.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com. Dutcher and Hardy, the reviews are in.
I got to say, I don't want to talk about you. Give me about 5 minutes of my time.
Hear what he said. Now more of on the Sports Hub.
Hey, this hour of Dutcher and Hardy is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Last night, every time they showed Taylor Swift, I would get furious. I would say, why are you showing the most famous person on the planet? How dare you? All I know is that Travis Kelce really must like being famous because if Travis Kelce was walking around with Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift was like a librarian, you'd be like, why is he with Taylor Swift?
So there is the element of fame that I don't think Travis Kelce shies away from, but he hasn't yet figured out or cares to figure out like all the trappings of fame. Like he's going to have eyes on him more than ever. And during the game, there's two players that you care about offensively on the Chiefs right now. It's him and Patrick Mahomes. So this is going to get picked up on regardless. But there's only going to be pushback if you are already in the public eye to the extent that he is. And when he went over to the sideline after he was pulled out of the game and went up to Andy Reid, I'm telling you, there's no way around it. This was a terrible look.
After the fumble, he comes over to Andy and goes, keep me in. What happened is, on the fumble, he was not in the game. Noah Gray went in, and he had to block.
It's one thing to go up to your coach and say, keep me in or put me back in. When you physically make contact with the coach and scream in his face.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
I don't know how you make that look good or how you explain that away as being all fired up. It's like, that's the coach. You can't do that. Could you?
Well, A.J. Brown made this statement on Twitter that if he did that, he would be on a different team. Here's the deal. If Kansas City loses that game, at that point in the first half, Travis Kelce had one reception for 1 yard. Travis Kelce, that reaction is the first half of a football game. By the way, by a team that's won multiple Super Bowls, like this, by a guy in his 30s. If you want to tell me that Travis Kelce wasn't walking into that game, he's a tight end. You could disappear. Like tight ends, for games and games and games, you could watch games and just, unless they're an elite tight end, just be like, whatever. Like, if you don't think that Travis Kelce knew and was feeling an enormous amount of pressure at the beginning of that game, you're out of your mind. And if they would have lost that game and he would have struggled and wouldn't have performed the way that he did in the second half, that him going up to Kelce would have been the entire story. Because Kelce's life is ruined anyway. Like, Kelce is going to want to be famous the rest of his life, and he'll get TV gigs and stuff because people are stupid. But for the rest of his online existence, which we're all going to have to live, he's never going to be able to function online because of. Ask Adam 12 about Taylor Swift's fans. Adam 12 from Rock, whatever the hell it is that Hardy's on.
Rock 92.9.
Yeah.
Fred.
They don't even have their morning shows out of Detroit. It's not even live and local.
How dare you speak about Chuck the Freak that way?
Listen, they're on the riff, baby. And Adam 12 made some like passing joke about Taylor Swift or something online and was getting death threats. The big death threat is not really a death threat from Taylor Swift fans. They just wish you suicide. So like they always go like, go kill yourself. Like, so Adam got like thousands, not hyperbole, thousands of people killing him, telling him they were going to kill him and that he should go kill himself. So imagine if you were banging her this publicly and then you break up, she's going to obviously talk about it. It's her whole thing. So every time Travis Kelce goes like, what a play by the Dallas Cowboys, go kill yourself. And it's just he'll never be able to look at it again. Any public email or any behind the scenes email, it's going to be like getting hacked by the Chinese government. Like anything he does is just it's pointless.
And it won't even make a difference if he breaks up with her. If he were to tell yeah, if he were to tell her, like, hey, goodbye, it doesn't matter. That's going to make him look even worse. And if she breaks up with him, it's not going to do him any good. So he's screwed. He's screwed either way.
Like, if he's working for CBS or Fox or something and he wants to be cute and get on Twitter or whatever Twitter is in the future, it won't be Twitter, obviously, but whatever it is in the future, and he's like, hey, I like that play by that running back. If you would click on, like, whatever people respond with, it will just be a sea of go kill yourself.
Yes.
And then what I always think is funny is if, like, say you're, like, Tom Jones lover 52, and you go to someone, go kill yourself, and then what if the person, like, wrote a note? This is a dead serious thing, because I was having this very conversation about Travis Kelce, because everything that came to Adam was go kill yourself, so everyone's going to tell Travis Kelce to go kill himself.
Right.
If you're Tom Jones lover 52 and you said go kill yourself, and Travis Kelce writes in his suicide note, he kills himself that day, and writes in his suicide note, Tom Jones 52, you are your message to me is the message that finally made me end my life. Is Tom Jones 52 happy or sad? Does it haunt him for the rest of his life that blood is on his hands, and that his pithy comment to an unknown ether of the internet actually hit home to the guy and made the guy, it was the very thing, the thing that the guy needed to do to finally pull the trigger of the gun? Or is he happy that he was mentioned and that he had the power to literally make the guy kill himself?
The second one.
Well, that, my friend, is a sociopath. So people that are saying go kill yourself on Twitter should be investigated and put in mental health facilities.
Fourth quarter, 6 and whatever left on the clock, down 10.
This from a guy who's that close to ending it all?
We do this for you guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's hear from Travis on him pushing his head coach or bumping into him, whatever he did, up on the sideline. Terrible look after the game. What did you have to say for yourself, Travis?
What was the conversation about?
There were a few cameras.
I mean, was it, hey, I need the ball, I can help us win? What was that about?
Man, it was, I'm gonna keep it between us unless my mic'd up tells the world, but I was just telling him how much I love him.
Yeah. So no, you were feeling an inordinate amount of pressure.
Yes.
Because of your dating the most
literally the world is watching just you,
and there's
because of how you forced yourself into their into the public consciousness. Yeah, and when you have one reception for 1 yard, you need to stay out on the field and do better.
It was everything that he had calculated by reaching out to Taylor Swift and starting this whole thing.
Right.
And it was all calculated. Like, I mean, there was a part of his brain. It wasn't just, I find this woman to be so talented and beautiful. It was the trappings of the fame that came with it. All of that was coming down on him and haunting him. He was on the world's biggest stage, under the world's biggest microscope, knowing that the conversation was revolving around him. He's just a cog in a machine, really. Yeah. And he had felt such internal pressure that it made him lash out.
I feel so good, don't it? Let me hear you say, oh!
And it was too much from, and it just speaks of the hell that's going to be Travis Kelce's life.
Thank God Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback.
What did Andy?
But it's all. This is all going to end terribly.
Oh, for him? Oh, sure. It is.
I mean, there's no way it's positive.
No.
Even if it's 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
It's all going to end
Even
terribly.
if he marries his girl and, whatever the case may be, whatever he does after football, you want all the fame and fortune. Congratulations. You're under the microscope for the rest of your life.
It's your life is going to be hell.
It's not going to be that much fun when you're still doing this crap and saying this nonsense 10 years from now.
Yeah, like a month from now.
You're going to be a punchline real soon.
Yeah. And when you're done, this is all like forever.
Sure.
You're Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Forever. She is everything and you are nothing.
I was just going to say, congratulations, you're the plus one. As soon as you retire, you're the plus one for the rest of your life.
And no one's going to like you. They're all going to hate you.
We do this for you guys.
They're all going to hate you forever. Like forever.
And it would have started much earlier last night. Let me tell you something. The whole people have already reached their saturation point on the Travis and Taylor thing. But had that gone the other way last night, all the explanations in the world, well, they wouldn't have been as pithy and they wouldn't have been as so lighthearted as Andy Reid was after the game.
Early in the game, the offense wasn't quite clicking, and we saw Trav come over and I say have an engaging conversation with you. What was that convo about? Because it seemed like the offense and everybody changed after that. What was that convo about?
Oh, please.
He caught me.
Oh, get out of here. You know what? That was what it took. Andy Reid had no plan going in. And then when he was assaulted by Kelce, then he went, oh, that's right. You're on the team. Yeah. Thank you for screaming at me. I had no plan. This whole laminated sheet in 60 years of football.
Well, he didn't have the sheet where he keeps track of what kids have played what minutes. Because that's what you have to make sure everybody gets the same amount of playing time. I have that on my phone. Of course you do.
I have it on my phone, actually.
We've all had that.
Right here, the first thing that comes up. Is who played in my daughter's basketball game? Who was on the bench? I had 8 girls. Very hard to juggle. Very hard. Hard 5-minute substitution patterns.
So here's Andy Reid.
Fumble. That was another turnover.
Yeah, he didn't know
that. Your play sheet.
He didn't know I was going to go that far.
Right.
So he came over and gave me a hug. So sorry about that. But you know what? He just wants to be on the field and he wants to play. And so there's nobody I get better than I get him. He's a competitive kid, and he loves to play, and he makes me feel young. But my balance is terrible, Booger.
Okay, so you're right, Artie. If they would have lost that game, this to him should be like, okay, I got to get out of this thing. Like, do it today. Like, get out now. Like, if he should stay home and be in a quiet space for like an hour. And he should go, what made me get that enraged at halftime of a team sport where I'm just a minor cog, really? What made me feel the need to act out? And it would be this relationship. It's too much for me now, and it's too much for me at my highest moment. What is it going to be like from now on? And he should just go, all right, while all the attention is on the team, blocker. And just get it over with. Pull the Band-Aid off now.
He was asked if he's going to play next season.
Patrick said you guys are going to keep it going. You got a young team. Do you want to be part of that journey?
Man, I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this one, and everything that just happened. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity that I've been able to go through 3 times now, and man, it gets sweeter and sweeter every time, baby.
What did Travis Kelce have to say? I've heard him talk on the podcast, and that's not Travis Kelce.
Oh.
We do this for you guys.
No, I want to hear from Travis. No, that's Travis Kelce on a public when he's being interviewed.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless he's talking about, like, veterans. Then he sounds like the other guy, too.
Don't nobody know we represent and honor every single veteran that went to war for us in World War I. What's good?
He's from suburban Cincinnati.
Couple of parades ago. But he's playing for the Heartland, Fred.
What's good right here in the heart of America?
You get a couple drinks in him, and he almost shapeshifts.
I feel so good, don't it? Let me hear you say, oh!
He becomes a big Master P fan.
He better hope that playing career goes on. At least he has some protection. He has a place to go.
He has to
you
evaluate.
Cut that guy loose on society with no job.
He has to evaluate how he let his emotions get so out of control and what all the factors were and eliminate those factors. He has to take an inventory.
Yeah,
he has to take a personal inventory.
There it is.
And figure out what is making him lash out like that, and he can't handle it.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Nope. His life is going to suck because he wants to be famous. If he was going to be like, a recluse and didn't want to be in the public eye, then who cares? Then just don't do anything online. He's not a recluse.
He wants to be like Cyrus in The Warrior.
Can you dig it?
I mean, he wants to be famous, and with that fame is going to be coming. He has to be online, and he has to go out in public, and for the rest of his life, that's just going to suck. And anytime he does something that is good or clever that he feels, and he puts it out to the world, the reaction to him is going to be, go kill yourself. Because that is what Adam 12, just being a DJ on a
rock station that doesn't even play Taylor,
was told to go kill, and just people they just heard, their first reaction was go kill yourself. So like again, Travis Kelce's gonna be like, oh, how about that block? And people are gonna be like, go kill yourself. And then that's just going to be a sea of that for the rest of his life. Because that's what Taylor Swift fans do. And I got to imagine it's not pleasant.
I feel so good, don't it? Let me hear you say, oh!
You want to be loved so bad, Travis, and it's all going away with every tick of the clock. You know that Taylor Swift lives, Norton told me, or I heard Norton say that Taylor Swift's got a place, garage, New York City. Her own garage, private garage.
Oh.
That's like having a private plane, apparently, in New York City.
Like a place to park your car underneath your
residence. Your residence in
Yeah.
New York City, you have a place to park your car and then get into your residence without having to leave the garage. That's like a private plane.
That would be the first and only thing I'd want, and to hear that is like unthinkable you have to have like Taylor Swift type wealth to get it. Well, that makes up my mind. I am not moving to New York.
You have to be
I
like
will not do it.
hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
this is
then
well beyond the grasp of a millionaire.
Then I'm not doing it.
And then there was some discussion about then why is Travis Kelce walking into her building, and then you're thinking, is he doing it on purpose so he'll get photographed, or does she not let him in the garage?
We do this for you guys.
Yeah, he's doing it for us.
Yeah, well, you're going to be doing it under an incredible amount of negative scrutiny for the rest of your life. But you wanted it, and I don't think that the rewards warrant the risks, especially for a young bearded man like Travis Kelce, who's from the Queensboro Projects, if you didn't know.
Apparently.
All right, we will be right back.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Lainey Wilson is on a roll. She's delivering great music and teaming up with some of country's hottest acts. Text Lainey to 45911 to see which 4 Lainey Wilson collabs have us talking at BackstageCountry.com. Text Lainey to 45911 to get a link to the list sent right to your phone from BackstageCountry.com.
Now, more Tuncher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
It's all thanks to Nick. Sweet little Nicholas. I was at a Super Bowl function for the first half last night, and Nicholas came up. Everyone wants to know about Nicholas. Was he really covered in his own feces? Yes, 100 times yes. All right.
Yes.
You wanted an email hot off the presses sent to me 3 minutes ago?
Yeah.
From Joe?
Yeah.
Nothing I love more to listen to you act like a little bitch, jealous of another man. Actually, all 3 of you act like little girls. It's sad because I do enjoy the show. It's titled Kelce. I don't know if he heard my point about Travis Kelce. I don't envy Travis Kelce. I really don't.
No, that's it. You envy him so much, it's blinded you to your own envy. You can't even see it anymore.
No, I assure you that the trade-off of dating Taylor Swift and the hell that his life and that need for acceptance and that way that it boiled over on the sidelines, no. What I do is I empathize with Travis Kelce. I think he got him way over his head. And I don't blame Taylor Swift in any of this. She's her own machine. I actually like Taylor Swift. I like the idea that she performs and writes her own songs and that kids obviously gravitate towards that. I think that just proves that in our essence, we do want true art. And that is why she is so famous. And with famous people like Drake, their penises are too big.
What?
Did you see him? Drake? The nude stuff?
No, I did not seek it out. You guys talked about it. You obviously looked at it. I did not seek it out.
Times.
I did not look at it.
It looked almost otherworldly.
Okay.
We're talking John Holmes-esque.
Wow.
Freddie, says Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're about to get there. I've been a listener since the 06 BCN days. The addition of Hardy was brilliant.
Oh. I like
now,
this
if
guy.
only Kendra could replace that bird. Kidding, Wallach, I love you. Speaking of feet.
Really beautiful feet.
You notice the funny ones are from Smart Guys? Speaking of feet, I heard you are training for a marathon. I started running a sock company that would love to send you a few pair of training and race day. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Fondling women's feet.
It's the Detroit Marathon. It doesn't really count. Josh says, I'm sure you know the meaning of this already. The foot washing in that ad, the foot washing Jesus ad that the billionaire put on the commercial.
Feet.
Is a metaphor for service of your fellow man and helping the needy. I do understand that.
I got several of these emails, Fred. I understand what the commercial meant. I understand what it's all about. I don't understand how they think that's going to get people to act that way, either literally or metaphorically. And I would question, Fred, if an entity has that kind of money, whether it's a billionaire or some kind of a group, why they would spend it on a Super Bowl ad and maybe not just doing something for the people who need help.
I actually, even if you just were I want to spread the message of Jesus and this is what I'm into, again, that's great. There's just so many things to choose from. I'm actually pro-Jesus. I'm just thinking of all the things that you could have done, just having real-life people holding other people's feet in a world of foot fetish.
Is it okay to touch him again?
Is just a weird way to go. There's a lot of Jesus things you could have done. I really don't have a problem with the guy buying the ads if he wants to spread a message of inner and outer peace. He says, Jesus washed the feet of the poor in the Bible. I know, but it's a really random part of the Bible to be getting into. Wouldn't you say the adverts are working? I've heard just as much about the feet washing from everyone as I have about the actual game, just by 2 cents. Very possibly they are. Although I am biased, I do love Jesus and everything he stood for in an agnostic way.
Around that conference room table. It's all right, what are we going with here, guys? We're focusing on Jesus? Yes. Okay. We got the whole Sermon on the Mount. I've laid out, multiple options here from that one thing a lot. We're going feet. Ooh. Yeah, boss. The feet thing is great.
Really beautiful feet.
I agree with you. And it's, visually it works. But, maybe we could do something about the blessed or the meek or is there anything there that would work?
Really beautiful feet.
No, we're just going feet.
No, it's either this. It's either the focus on even the acceptance of prostitutes or feet. These are the 2 things I got out of it.
What about the meek inheriting the earth?
Feet.
Okay. He really wants to do the foot thing. Okay. All right.
We have to admit it. The whole Bible is full of metaphor and analogy and things. The washing the feet, it just seemed to hit a certain demographic. It could have been a WikiFeed ad. It really could have. Because the Catholic app, the thing that Mark Wahlberg did, the Holler, right, is I know people who have that app. That was an app. That was more of a straightforward thing, What if it was an app and it was just a bunch of people holding feet, and you're at a party and you're watching it and it's just people holding feet, and all of a sudden, Quentin Tarantino starts floating towards the television, like Sylvester the cat with a pie on the windowsill. Mm-hmm. So you say if I join this church, I get to hold feet all day?
Yeah, well, you get to wash the feet, you get to do the thing.
Do I have to use cloth, or may I use...
David said, what about the State Farm Arnold Schwarzenegger commercial? That was the best one. You left that out. I watched that one. I said, that's not funny. It's not good.
I don't know. I think that the choice of the State Farm guy and to completely focus all their advertising, and even to the point of having him do interviews.
Yeah.
I heard the State Farm guy, the African-American fella, interviewed.
Yeah.
That was uncomfortable. Guess what network did that? You'll never guess. ESPN. Had the State Farm guy on.
Nice.
As a guest.
Yeah. I'm sure that was riveting stuff.
Yeah, and he talked about how humble it was.
Oh, yeah.
How humbled he was by the success of his ad campaign for State Farm.
His ad campaign, yes.
He really talked about as if he was somebody doing something.
He's a mover and shaker of the whole
And then
deal.
the Dell guy came in and just cleared the table because he was working for the catering company. Anyone else got an email?
Wallach.
I have one.
I know you got. Several over the weekend.
John, on top of it, is always
no.
Ready to
You
go.
looked at him. I figured he was going to say something. I have two. Do you want one?
For a lot of the show, I'm looking into space.
Right.
So I'm not asking for the heavens.
My apologies. Do you want one related to me or related to the show?
John, whatever you want to do, I trust you. I've been with
John,
you since 2009. What is it going to take for you to know that I just want you to take the ball and run? I want you to be yourself. You go. Don't ask me.
Thank you. Hi, John. I remember you telling a story about having a fast red car in your youth when calling a Celtic game. Am I remembering right? No, the car was black with a red interior. It was a Toyota Celica all-track turbo that I got many speeding tickets with and had my license suspended. And that's the email I have here.
I take it back. Always ask me what you should do.
I got one from Patrick Chrisman who said, "Hey John, here's an email for you, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 majestic photographs of eagles."
Well, the last one is just eagles having sex.
The last one is bald eagles mating.
I have one here. A guy sent me bird sounds. Okay, we can download that and use it tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
And finally, Freddie T, I've got something that I think might challenge Hardy. This seems to have taken off like wildfire.
Oh, is it another this or that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who does he find more attractive? More Tierney's character from News Radio? Or the 1-2 punch of Kate O'Brien and Mimi Bobek from the Drew Carey Show?
No, it
has to be a package deal.
No.
Is it or isn't it worth it?
No, it's more a Tierney. Not just for the reason he mentioned. Number one, I believe she's like a Hyde Park, West Roxbury girl. And for her turn in Welcome to Mooseport, where I find her particularly fetching.
Is there a side boob where a magnifying glass is needed?
No.
Is there a particular scene as if
she plays
the Julie Bowen scene in
like
Modern Family?
No, large animal veterinarian. She's a little rough around the edges. She beats up a Ray Romano a couple of times in that movie. She doesn't take no guff, and she gets courted by Gene Hackman, playing the former president in Welcome to Mooseport. Also, Gene Hackman's last film. Unfortunate for some who celebrate, his wonderful work in movies like The French Connection and. Yeah, sure, he did some other stuff, but I enjoy Welcome to Mooseport. It's like watching a 90-minute sitcom.
Maura Tierney now just plays sad moms. I just saw her in something that she was just a sad mom in New York
Did you watch
City.
the Affair?
Yes.
That's I thought that was a really good show, and she's excellent in that.
She's an excellent actress, but she just plays like a rich, sad mom in everything now.
Okay, well, that's hot.
No. You understand that I'm not the only one fascinated. You have a very unusual taste in young ladies, famous women. In that you look at them as objects, and that they have to fit some sort of structure.
You are so pedestrian and obvious. Oh, look at Sofia Vergara. Auga, auga.
That's exactly.
Sheep.
I love smoke shows.
Yeah, that's you.
I scroll through Facebook and just look for total smoke
Oh, I
shows.
want to guess that ass. Ugh.
Well, I want to play a game that I heard on a Detroit radio station one time where we build the perfect woman using body parts
perfect.
from different women.
Nice.
That was a real bit on 97 Won the Ticket.
That's not creepy or serial
The
killer
Stony
like at
Morning
all.
Show. I was in Detroit one time, and they said, let's build the perfect woman using body parts. And I thought, you came in with that bit. You were like, what are we going to do? It's the summer, and the Tigers suck. Let's build a perfect woman using body parts from different women. So you would use like the face of someone and the legs of another, and then you would hodgepodge it together Frankenstein style.
Here's where Fred and me, our Venn diagram intersects. The answer is Victoria Silvstedt, circa 2002, done. It's already been done for you.
There you have it.
Basketball, right?
I don't know what
Whatever
she was
you're saying, John. It's all good.
I don't know.
She's in the movie.
I don't
You
know
need a
what
hotel
movie she
room
was
for
in.
the
I interviewed her at a UFC event in Las Vegas, and Fred met her too, and it was like one of those. Not even like as a woman, as like a sexual thing. It's like, oh, there is a perfect human specimen right there.
It's funny because Hardy and I didn't know each other when we had both interviewed or met her. I don't even think I interviewed her, and it was the only woman I've ever met. And Hardy's right; it wasn't at all sexual. It was just like, okay, this is like a perfect specimen.
Yeah,
and and then it turned out she had prostituted herself. And then so I think
that part's not great.
No, but I would think that experience would be awful for everybody. Like, I mean, you want to talk about it being obvious that the only reason someone's there is for money.
Yeah, it's
like that whole thing just seems awful.
Yeah, that ruins it for me. Don't talk about that. How dare you?
Well, she was with a guy from Entertainment Tonight when I interviewed her or talked to her. But I talked to her, and I was just like, okay, yeah, this is weird. Like, this is someone not suitable for me to even be talking to. This is someone, it might as well be another planet. Like, this is an alien that's come down. We could never mate. It wouldn't work. The parts wouldn't fit. like I could do nothing to her or for her that would satisfy her in any way. She's too hot. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Hardy's right. As I just made fun of a segment, now we're doing this. But Victoria Silverstead was too hot. She was too hot.
Yeah.
It was like too much. There's no way I could have. The whole time I was
like
with
Bradley Cooper or Brad Pitt, it's like you just come into contact with a human like that, and you're like, oh, God.
Bradley Cooper is, I call him Bradley Pooper because of his work in The Hangover 3. He's not a tall man. See, he's got a flaw.
Oh. I've never seen him in person.
Yeah, he's got a flaw. Victoria Silverstead did not have a flaw. And
I think it's Silvstedt.
Whatever her name is.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
If you're going to, escalate her like this, pronounce her name right.
She's your age, man.
I think that it almost, well, now she's too old, but there's almost, I mean, let's be honest, 49-year-old single men do not sleep with 49.
She's 49 now, Wallach?
She's 49.
That's a little young for me. I don't care for that. I don't.
We need the hair back in a bun. I understand.
No, it doesn't have to do that. It's just.
I have a joke that I'll tell you off the air.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Country music has so many generous artists who always seem to jump in to help those in need. We're spotlighting 5 who lead by example and lend a helping hand to charitable causes. See who made our list when you text GIVE to 45911. Text GIVE to 45911 and read all about it right now on BackstageCountry.com.
All right, we'll be back, which is great radio. But we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
We're back with Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, this hour of Toucher and Hardy is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. The Stack is brought to you by Best Ford in Nashua. Looking for great deals on a new Ford? Go to the Best Ford in Nashua. For more info, head to bestfordinNashua.com. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of these props. Freddie, you did well yesterday on FanDuel.
I did. I played on FanDuel, and I had, it was like hitting a scratcher. I had, like everything hit. I had a missed extra point that was plus 750, and I put like $100 on it, like, which I never would normally do for like a jokey prop.
Yeah.
But I so little cared about the game, and I had so little money on it that right before the game I was just like, I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was a rookie. I thought that, 49ers had a rookie kicker. Mm-hmm. I actually thought that, and I go, you know what? They're going to block it. Mm-hmm. They're going to block them. No, but I thought maybe. And then I had the money line for Kansas City, which was called a square bet by some, but it still pays.
I had the money line on Kansas City. That one came through. I did my annual overtime bet, and I did talk myself into it a little bit more because of the closeness of the two teams, just in terms of the spread and the defense. And now that is hit twice in Super Bowl history. The first time it hit, of course, Patriots-Falcons. Was not enough to cover all the will there be an overtime, yes, bets I had made over the years. But last night I had 50 on it at plus 1,100, and now I am in the black, so to speak.
I actually
when it comes to my years and years of betting, will there be an overtime?
I looked, and I'm actually in the black now overall in my gambling. I looked this morning.
For life?
Since it's been legal in Massachusetts.
Oh, I thought you meant like
no, in life. No, Jesus, Hardy, no.
I keep a ledger.
Of every time every time I play blackjack, I recall every detail. If you put, There's never been a.
I keep a notebook like Rayman. It's like my serious injury catalog. It grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Yeah, I've just every time in Vegas at 2:30 in the morning before I threw up on a stripper and I've been playing blackjack. I have a fine PowerPoint presentation I could give you.
The coin flip ended up heads. A lot of people like to bet the coin flip.
You couldn't hear, could you? Could you bet on the coin flip in Massachusetts?
No, you can't bet on some of these things like the national anthem. I don't think you can bet that in Mass. The Reba McEntire, which I did not hear 1 second of.
Oh, you got to like Reba McEntire. I didn't hear 1 second of it either because I hate the country. But did you? And I was too busy kneeling.
It was a low total on the time for the anthem.
She's so modest.
89.5 seconds.
Oh, Reba, that's so Reba. I want to give her own sitcom. Too late. And how about that daughter? She was a looker. She was with the guy from Shameless who would get pegged. Okay. You ever watch Shameless?
I think so. Was that the William H. Macy?
Yeah. But he's the tall guy. It was pretty funny because he was on Reba, the all-American sitcom, and now he's getting pegged on the Shameless.
Okay.
By his girl.
The halftime props. Okay, the first song was "You Don't Have to Call." I don't know that song.
You know who called is Melissa from Hot. She pretty much called everything except she said Bieber was coming out.
Oh, the Biebs. A lot of people were where I was watching up until halftime, and then I left. The kids wanted the Biebs.
My daughter had no idea who anyone in that halftime show was. None. And she's 13 and watches TikTok 5 hours a day.
We've aged out.
Yeah, when we've aged out.
We've aged out.
God, our audience is the people who call. It's only the people who call this show are so lame. Like Pepsi's halftime show was too cool for everyone. You guys don't know the Pizza Hut generation. Like you realize this is all catered towards the biggest audience in the world.
The people who actually have the money. You see.
No. But beyond that, it's meant to not offend and to appeal and to not. It's really meant to not offend the most amount of people as possible.
My son is obsessed with Pizza Hut. He wants Pizza Hut. The commercials are working for him. And every time we're talking about, like, maybe we should have pizza night, say, can we get Pizza Hut? And the answer is, no, there's no Pizza Hut around here. So we can't get Pizza Hut. But I'm going to have to get him Pizza Hut eventually.
Just get him a tabletop Galaga machine and give him any kind of pizza. It's Pizza Hut at that point.
We got a stand-up Galaga machine right downstairs. You can go play it whenever he wants, and he never does.
I'm sure you play. Is it a real Galaga machine, or is it just Galaga in some box?
No, it's a 3/4, arcade one-up Galaga Miss Pac-Man, whatever.
That's not cool.
What'd you make of the Lionel Messi Michelob Ultra commercial?
I got that.
That
I
was
didn't
stupid.
see it. I didn't see it.
I didn't care for it.
The only soccer thing I saw was Paramount Plus went all in on the Premier League, and I'm like, that's a lot of money to pay for getting people to watch something they don't care for.
Oh.
Because everyone who watches the Premier League is at a bar wearing a scarf. Because they're too busy not being a sommelier that morning.
Whenever the Revs send us stuff, they've always got scarves in the box.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I was at a bar in Atlanta, and I'm like, why are all these dumbasses with scarves walking in? And they're like, oh, the Atlanta team is playing in
Football.
soccer.
That's right.
And I went, oh, so they're really fans of single-A soccer.
Atlanta FC.
You know what? The guys that play overseas are too good. I want to see I
want to see something I can relate to.
I want to see, like, JV basketball.
I want it to be as slow as possible.
Yeah, well, I get the elite talent.
A scoreless tie with a game that moves very slowly.
I want guys that are not going to be involved in the World Cup.
How dare you?
What, you're telling me a guy like Lionel Messi comes in, plays inferior competition, and dominates? Stop.
You know what, Wallach?
Really?
Well, listen. Look what Pele did when paired with Stallone.
Victory.
Right.
Victory.
They actually won.
You don't kick well. You don't dribble well. But you are a good goalkeeper.
We could have done a crossover. Bertrand was just in here.
Wait.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Okay.
Hey, now, I'm sorry.
No,
we didn't do it traditionally. We ran a little late today. I was all hot and bothered by the Super Bowl.
By the way, the Gatorade color was purple. And, all right. That's whatever. There were a bunch of Taylor Swift props, too. Whatever. Oh, SpongeBob. We got to talk about the Nickelodeon broadcast tomorrow. We'll have some Super Bowl leftover stuff tomorrow. But the Nickelodeon broadcast, once again, did very well. They do an impressive job with that every year.
What do they do?
So they make it kid-friendly, and they have, like, characters popping up and explaining calls and stuff like that, but it's an actual way to watch the game, and they do some like legitimately funny stuff. Some of it is like dad joke stuff, but I was looking at clips of it this morning. I'm like, yeah, they've figured out a niche for Super Bowl broadcasts on Nickelodeon that they've figured out over the years. You've seen it too, haven't you?
Yeah. They've kids are like very aware of that.
Yeah.
Which is impressive because I don't think Nickelodeon is what it used to be.
No.
Right? Nickelodeon used to be a pretty dominant media entity with kids, and I don't think it is anymore, but they still are very much aware of it.
Since Mr. Wizard died and Dave Coulier moved from Out of Control, it's not been the same. I'm a little old. Since the slime has hit kids, it's not been the same. Since they had a young girl named they called Moose.
Moose, yeah.
That was acceptable in Canada.
Hey, Beto, how was Vegas?
Yeah, it was real good, dude.
Did you party, dude?
No, a little bit.
Did you get tore up, dude? Oh, you're rolling in, no sleep doing that show, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it was fine.
How many days were you legitimately hungover and didn't want to be doing the show?
I was not hungover any of the days I was there.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's very
Did it not kick in until
there
after
was
the
one
show?
day, I would say that Wednesday was the day that I was tired from the night before.
Okay.
I wasn't hungover, but I was definitely sort of worn out.
You were on the air at 7 in.
Yeah.
So,
which was hard.
There are hangovers that can kick in around 9 in. Like you're rolling 6 till 9, and then 9 hits, and then the alcohol leaves your system.
I got up on Wednesday. I took a couple of Tylenol. I was a little tired, but I was fine.
Yeah, Xanax and like 3 nips, you'll be all right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing with you. I actually never did that. All right, gentlemen, I'm glad to see you. I feel a little unsafe that you're in here.
Why are you unsafe?
You're patient.
You're dripping with it.
You're dripping with disease. Oh, stop it. Stop it. You're scaring me. All right, gentlemen. It's good to have you back. And excellent job out there in Vegas. We should be back tomorrow if everything goes well. Even though John's going to have to go through another snowstorm, and he doesn't like that. Look for us to poke fun at him tomorrow. That'll do it for us.